welcome everybody to a special edition of the Saint Seiya Cosmocast. I'm your host Ramses. Some news came down from Netflix a couple of days ago as I am recording this, and that is that unfortunately Saint Seiya will be taken off the Netflix service here in the United States on December 14th, 2021. Now, why is this important? Well, first off, it was like first time that they commissioned a dub, and they commissioned all 114 episodes to be made. So, all those 114 episodes that got dubbed are now going to be lost, possibly. And whoever picks it up, like either Crunchyroll or High Dive or whoever streams anime nowadays, I don't think they're gonna get the same deal as Netflix did with their with it, because if I remember correctly, with how they structure their deals with Toy, they Toy like sells it like piecemeal, so so you only get like one part of a series. That's why for the majority of like the lifespan of whenever someone licenses out Saint Seiya, it's always gonna be the Sanctuary arc and it ends right there, because they consider that, because they consider the Hades and Poseidon and all the other parts of the series separate parts, and they have to, and they usually, the licensing for like to license all of it is just incredibly high. So for a company to take that risk to releasing a series that they're unsure of, there is kind of a huge undertaking. Like it means that like they're whoever buys it is unsure if they're gonna even get like a profit back. You know, putting the series on DVD. I believe Discotech has mentioned this, like a few times they've released Saint Seiya, they've never made a big sale at all. Even including their most recent release of the 4 movies, they said that those sales have been abysmal. So this is that is very concerning, knowing that's like that. If that's the case, then no one would want to touch Saint Seiya in terms of DVD release. And if whoever picks it up, like say another company like Crunchyroll, they may not even use the same dub as it. They might not use the same dub. Or if another company picks it up altogether, like say a Viz Media or Funimation, they might commission a new dub also. So it's a lot of like things that we don't know just yet, and that's the most concerning thing right now. That's that is going on with this announcement. It's not just the fact that they're taking it off the service, but it's just like we don't know who's gonna take the license next. You don't know if the site license, if they're going to take everything and the dub, or if Sentai Filmworks, who worked on that dub, will be publishing on their own. Nothing has been said just yet. And to me, I feel that that's a huge negative. Obviously, for obvious reasons, that I've been using the Netflix series as the Netflix stuff as like reference as I'm watching the watch-alongs with you guys. But also, I've been also using it to like judge the dub as well, since I've watched it so many times in Spanish, and also I've watched it in Japanese. Seeing it in English for the first time is something a little bit more refreshing, and they're doing a good job with the dub. I'm really happy with what they did, and I really want to encourage whoever did that dub to continue using those voice actors in whatever they're doing, because like they are incredible all around. And they did an incredible job with doing all the stuff for Saint Seiya, which is not an easy task. Like I said, it's 114 episodes. And not only that, a lot of the actors had to do double duty, not just to do the original series, but they also had to do the CGI series on top of that as well. So, you know, props to everybody who worked on that dub, because like they had to do double duty and do 114 episodes of a series on top of that as well. And that could possibly be all lost to the ether. Like whoever picks up may not want to, they want to use that dub anymore, or just put it subtitled only, and they might even want to do like they may not want to publish all the rest of the series like they did with Netflix, like with other times. Like I said, like other times it's been on other streaming services. They only up to the Sanctuary, and that's about it. And and like again because it's because of toys like licensing agreements, and that's just and it's gonna be really sad that that's gonna be the end of what we know of this of this English dub of Saint Seiya. So I wanted to take this time to to have a little bit of a call of action to the fans. I know by the time you're listening to this, it might be two or three more weeks before it's over, but right now, I think more than ever, I think it's more important that we need to get that voice out there that we want this dub saved, that we want this dub to be more available on like streaming services, like on whatever if whoever picks it up, like if we're like either Crunchyroll, High Dive, or whoever will pick up this series. That not only will they pick up the series, but also pick up its dub as well. And not just pick up its dub, but also pick up all 114 episodes. That's another key thing. That the series is 114 episodes, and and all those episodes should be available to anybody who gets it. And when I said this on Twitter, I said like there's gonna be a couple of ways. There's gonna be a couple of avenues we can do this. If you want to keep it on Netflix, the best thing you can do right now to get your voice heard is one, watch a series. Watch it. Especially if you are in the United States or in English speaking, I highly encourage anybody to watch the series in the United States. I know there's a lot of international people who are listening in, but unfortunately, they have the privilege of having that series on other formats and other places that's a little bit more popular. Here in the United States, we don't have that privilege. So this goes out to just for people here in the United States. Watch the series. Watch it. I wish, with all my heart, I wish like the series can be top 10 with like stuff like with all the new Netflix movies and like the shows like the new Cowboy Bebop show, but unfortunately, because of like how the sampling size for like the top 10 is, which is like everything internationally, I think they only count like stuff that's only available for like everyone. If it's something like if Saint Seiya is only available here in the United States dubbed, then unfortunately it's not going to crack that. But I do want those viewerships to go up drastically. Tell your friends, tell everybody. You have 3 more weeks before the series goes silent for whatever time period, and the series is lost to the ether. That said, too, if push does come to shove and Netflix does not isn't seeing the numbers that they like, and maybe throwing in a few suggestions to like their social medias or to like whatever email or even like snail mail stuff to bring it back might be a good idea as well. But for the most part, they see viewership as like the main thing. So that's something to think it over. Another thing is you need to get in contact with your favorite streaming service, whether it's Crunchyroll, High Dive, or even like bigger stuff like Paramount Plus, or and other stuff like that, like Disney Plus. I know it's kind of weird for me to say that, but they would benefit from having a lot of anime. I do know for a fact that Disney Plus will be airing anime, not soonish, but in the eventual future. I do believe that they did get the licensings for like stuff for the new Black Rock Shooter anime, and a couple of other original projects that they've been working on in Japan. So it wouldn't be so far-fetched for them to put an anime on their services. So yeah, like I said, I know it sounds ridiculous saying put it on Disney Plus, but it would be pretty beneficial for Disney to take notice and maybe put it on their service. Same with Paramount, same with Peacock, same with everything else. It doesn't just have to be something that's anime related. And, it can be even stuff like, Tubi TV or stuff like that as well. But right now I want to focus on where most people would have access to it. Like stuff like, Amazon Prime, Paramount, Peacock, Disney, Crunchyroll, High Dive, maybe Funimation. But I think like they don't do dealings with the dubbing company. So that might be a kind of a different thing altogether. Maybe the HBO Max. Who knows? Like I said, just Get in contact with them. Get in contact with social media. Get in contact with them through snail mail, through email. Get in contact with them that you want Saint Seiya. You want this particular version of Saint Seiya on their service, and make it very clear that you want that Saint Seiya. You want that one that's been on Netflix. And lastly, very lastly, I want, like, if possible, because I know this is kind of impossible, because thanks to how they've mentioned before how abysmal sales have been for earlier versions of Saint Seiya. Encourage and speak with your dollar on buying new Saint Seiya stuff on DVD. Please make it known that this is that you really want it on DVD. Buy the new movie set that's currently available. Make it make it that it's more impossible to find, and make it known that, like, this is not a fluke. That this is not a one-off thing. That Saint Seiya is here to stay, and I want this to be like the biggest, like, I want this to the next big phenomenon, or at least be at the big phenomenon it should be here in the United States. I honestly believe that Saint Seiya could be the biggest thing here and other places and other people have said that before. As a matter of fact, another cool thing that I want to mention, and I want to give shout outs to Dan Larson of Toy Galaxy for making a video about Saint Seiya and its troubled production coming here to the United States. And it's really sad that, like, the time that came out, that at the same time too, the news of the Saint Seiya leaving Netflix also appeared as well, and that's just like the worst timing as possible. And like I said, it's not his fault. It's just how dealings were. And what I theorize what happened with the dealings is that they were hoping that the Saint Seiya anime would do really well with it being paired up with the CGI show, and they would complement each other on Netflix, and it would be it'd be a natural, like, it'd be like a natural, like, progression to see that series be with it together. But unfortunately, the series didn't get that popular, thanks to lukewarm reception from the fans and from critics. So the original series was kind of like left there to be there, just to be there, to prop it up as the only thing that's available that fans might be more receptive to. And then not only that, the pandemic hits, and we have so many production delays on different things, and so it becomes very difficult to gauge, like, what's going on with, like, how popular things are and stuff like that, especially since, like, it's very fractured about who owns it and stuff like who owns it on different regions. I do know for a fact that, like, beforehand in Mexico, well, I mentioned before that they took it off the service on sometime in November, and the series is still airing, but the difference is that series is still airing on TV, on air, like through, like, rabbit ears TV, not even cable. It's like, you can watch it, like, on air TV, and that's because it's just a permanent stay in, like, the Mexican culture. So with that, so unlike here where we do have that kind of, like, privilege of, where they had that kind of privilege of, like, having it on TV, unlike here, it's just gonna disappear. So, like, make your voices heard. Make your voices heard everywhere around the world, because, not around the world, but make it known here in the United States that you want this series to succeed, and you want this series to do well, and you want this series to continue. You want the series to have, like, just a good just have the same kind of popularity as it has in other parts of the world. So, and it's going to be an uphill battle, I understand, and it might be very difficult, but, like, it just, right now, more than ever, it's just determination, and just us as a fandom must unite and get our word out there. One last thing I want to say. I want to thank the voice actors, and all the people behind the scenes of the series who did a lot of the incredible job of doing the dub and everything. They deserve all the thanks. So if you can, like, if you know any of them on the website, on Twitter or on Facebook or wherever social media, you can contact with them. Tell them thank you so much for dubbing. Thank you so much for producing the dub. Thank you so much for putting out the dub for us. Like, I want this to be not just an experience where we pester them and say what we do, It shouldn't be the experience where we pester people and get something, but we should also be thankful and be absolutely grateful to the people that did this for us, because like this is something that's been unprecedented in the United States, and it's something that they work so hard for. And these guys, these guys are the real heroes, and they deserve all the praise for all the hard work they did. And I want I want to see that their hard work is valued, that their hard work is not in vain, and I want their hard work to be seen by more people. So to repeat everything I want, go if you want to keep it on Netflix, watch it on Netflix. Flood whatever email or social media that they have. If you want the series on a new format, like on a new social media, tell them you want it. You tell them you want this series. And if you want this thing on like some sort of like on video or DVD or on Blu-ray, you make it known right now to companies like Discotech, who currently have the rights to the movies right now, that you want more, and buy those Blu-rays of the movies. That way, it will show them that this is not a fluke. That there is no curse or the room of the curse. That this is like for realsies. We want Saint Seiya, hell or high water. So, with all that said, thank you so much for listening to this special episode of the Saint Seiya Cosmocast. We'll be back sometime next week with a proper episode. But for now, I do want to thank everybody for listening in, and I do want people to also participate in all of our endeavors, such as our spreadsheet that we want to know more about the fans. If you want more content, less content, if you want more have ads on our show, or whatever you want it to be known, to be heard. Now would be the time to do that spreadsheet. We'll link it in our description, and also will be available on our Twitter as well. And like I said, I highly encourage everybody to participate in this. And also, like, if you can, you have a few more weeks before the series gets off Netflix, and this is the perfect time to introduce new people, especially right now, since like people are gonna be on vacation for the next couple of weeks because of Thanksgiving. So I highly encourage anybody right now, if you have any kind of like love for Saint Seiya, to do everything and to go above beyond if you can as well. With that said, people, thank you so much for listening, and please remember to be kind to everybody that does these things, and to also remember one last thing: keep burning that cosmos. Entonando questa su canción, la canzone